Hi Capricorns, this is Tessa with Acid Tarot. I'm bringing to you your February 2019 monthly reading. I already shuffled, I cut the deck, and I already have your cards laid out alongside with the clarifying cards. And I also have an advice card at the end that I'll give to you guys after the reading. All right, let's get to it. So Capricorns, your overall energy is the Seven of Cups. So when we look at the Seven of Cups, this talks about opportunities, choices, wishful thinking, and illusions. So this so for your overall energy, there's either some opportunities for you guys, some choices that you need to make, some wishful thinking that you may have going on, or possible illusions. So the first card out is the Judgment card. So when we look at the Judgment card, Judgment talks about a rebirth, or inner calling, or absolution. The Judgment card was clarified with the Ten of Swords. So when we look at the Ten of Swords, we're looking at um, painful endings, deep wounds, betrayal, a loss, or a crisis. Now, with your overall energy being some opportunities and wishful thinking or choices that need to be made, the Judgment card speaks on, whatever choices need to be made, it needs to be fair based on this betrayal with the Ten of Swords. It needs to be a fair outcome based on this painful ending. And I say ending because your next card out is the Death card. And when we look at the Death card speaks to endings, it speaks to change, it speaks to transformation or transitioning. And clearly we see that there's an ending with the Ten of Swords. And maybe this judgment call was to end something. And this is why the Ten of Swords came out. And it was a complete ending because you have the Death card right here. Now the Death card was also clarified by the Seven of Cups. So here it is again with the Seven of Cups about an ending to maybe opportunities, or maybe you had a whole bunch of different choices. So ending to all the choices that you have, and you narrowed it down to maybe one choice, one decision. And with the Seven of Cups, it could be a big distraction because you have so many different things going on. If you look at this card, it's so many different things that's held within these cups. So this is where the choices come into play. And when you have a lot of choices, it distracts you from the right path that you need to be on. So an ending needed to occur with this. Now, once this ending occurs, you have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords talks about transition again, change. Talks about releasing baggage. So you ended everything and you're moving on. You release the baggage. And the Six of Swords is clarified with the Page of Wands. So when we look at the Page of Wands, we're looking at being enthusiastic. We're looking at exploring. We're looking at discovery and being a free spirit. So now that you ended things, you're able to move on with the Six of Swords and to move forward and becoming a free spirit with this Page of Wands. But then we have the Five of Wands. So when we look at the Five of Wands, we're looking at disagreements. We're looking at competition. We're also looking at conflict. So maybe someone wasn't happy with this decision about you ending things. They're not happy that now that they see you being a free spirit. And the Five of Wands is clarified with the Hanged Man. So when we look at the Hanged Man, we're looking at a pause, a surrender, letting go, or having a new perspective on things. So maybe it's all about letting go of this conflict. You're surrendering. You're moving away from this conflict. You're letting go. It's clearly evident here that you let go. You have the Judgment, you have the Ten of Swords, and you have the Death card ending. You have the Six of Swords moving away. You have the Page of Wands. You're becoming a free spirit, and you've surrendered this conflict. Then you get an incoming message because you have the Eight of Wands. So when we look at the Eight of Wands, we're talking about speed, action, air travel, is movement, is swift change. And if you look at all the cards that's laid on the table, it is swift change. You went to, having to make a judgment call on this Ten of Swords, this betrayal. You ended things because it was just too many options. It was choices that needed to be made, and you made the choice of ending things and moving forward with the Six of Swords. And you're now a free spirit. You're feeling free spirited. You had to let go of this conflict. And now you're moving on very swiftly with this Eight of Wands. And when I say you're moving on swiftly, you you really are, because then you have the Eight of Wands clarified by the Eight of Cups. So when we look at the Eight of Cups, we're looking at disappointment. We're looking at abandonment. We're looking at withdrawal. We're looking at escapism. So swift movement, moving on, moving away. You're moving away from the abandonment. Maybe this is how you felt in the past, but you're moving away from this, swiftly moving away from this. And then we have the World card. So when we look at the World card, World card speaks to completion and accomplishment, and travel. Remember, you're now feeling free spirited. So usually free spirited people, they travel the world. They're free to do that. And the World card is clarified by the Death card. So yet again, endings, transformation. So this reading, all throughout this reading, it talks about endings, completing something. And you could walk away feeling, that you have let go of this conflict. You're walking away from this abandonment, or you're walking away from anything that was negative in your life. You have completed the cycle, and it's come to an end. And remember, the overall energy, it was choices. Impossible illusions. Maybe this was what it really boils down to. The illusions, you cut away and you ended the illusions. You're no longer wearing rose-colored glasses. You've come to a point where whatever choice needed to be made, you made it by ending it. Whatever was going on did not make you feel like you were on your right path, like you were on the right path. You knew it needed to come to an end, and you have completed the cycle. So guys, your advice card is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is as hard as stone. He works hard. He is a perfectionist, and he will not waver in his ways. He knows where he stands, and he will not let anyone sway his decisions. He will sacrifice for his loved ones, but he can be a bit too controlling of them. He will protect his nest, but he may have a difficult time opening up or letting in new experiences. The Golden Knight stands guard over his pentacle. It floats in a locked glass case over a pillar of concrete. The structure is rigid, and so is the Knight. You will need to decide how the Knight's energy is affecting your life, Capricorn. Are you being a little too uptight lately? Could you stand to let your guard and enjoy life at a calmer pace? Alternatively, do you need to stand up for yourself a little more? Perhaps it's time to take a stand and place things where you know they need to be. Look to the Knight of Pentacles' dominant energy to help you sort through your issues. Capricorn, so, this speaks. When I read this, the first thing that I thought about was this Page of Wands. You moving on and becoming this Page of Wands, this free-spirited person. You have to learn, Capricorn, not to be so rigid, because this Knight of Pentacles talks about someone being rigid and uptight. And you have to now find yourself as this Page of Wands person who is free-spirited and enjoy yourself a little bit more. You've now completed the cycle. You've ended things that no longer serve you. And it's time for you to take back ownership of yourself and enjoy you. And become that free-spirited person that you are, that's inside of you. So, Capricorns, I really enjoyed reading this for you. It really speaks volumes. So you and only you know. If this resonates with you, you know what needs to come to an end. You know what cycle needs to be completed. So this is your reading for February 2019. Please like, subscribe if you have not done so yet. And thank you guys for those of you who have subscribed to my channel. I hope this reading resonates with you. It is a positive reading. Like I said, only you know what needs to come to an end. And guys, I hope that you will find that free-spirited being that's within you. All right, guys, take care. Bye.